Greetings from the Whole Elephant Institute. Today is January the 19th, 2022. We are at the Flushing office of the Whole Elephant Institute, and just want to send our best wishes to all our community members, the Whole Elephant Institute community members. We are at a very critical moment in the human history. The Whole Elephant Institute in the past almost 19 days now, in the new year of 2022, has been going through a very important process in terms of preparing the important awakening truths for the world of people. So major breakthroughs have been made in helping mankind to understand the universe, human body, and the true evolution of human beings in the universe. The law that is behind the entire process that governs the human spirit to go through a cycle, and that cycle contains the process of coming from the universe down to the earth and then return to the original place in the universe. So that's the central theme, as a matter of fact, for all lives in the universe, that going through very important cycle, and that cycle is carefully arranged by our Creator from the very beginning of creation, for the very purpose of bringing the lives created by our Creator to a new world. How this whole process has been played out, and all the phenomena that mankind has been wishing to learn from through dissecting all these phenomena in the physical world, with the hope to find the truth, to answer the four ultimate questions. Where am I from? Why am I here? Where am I going? And how am I going to get there? And currently, this search for the truth approach is centered in the so-called modern science and technology. However, this approach will not lead to the truth of universe, human life, space and time, human body. And it has been wasting a lot of effort and draining the energy of the world. And now we are at a critical moment to find the true way that can lead to the answers of mankind's questions. So the Whole Elephant Institute, basically in the past 19 days, has been preparing the truth and the method of delivering the truth to awaken those who have been seeking for the truth. But unfortunately, they have now been stuck in the fields called science and technology, and also various religions currently played out on the earth, both in the East and the West. And these religious formalities are enclosing these people's spirit, and instead of liberating the spirits, the formality of these religions, the names of these religions, the superficialities of these religious practices are encaging the spirits of those who are now currently practicing religions, both East and West, in various formats. So those seeking for the truth in the science field, as a matter of fact, also has fallen into the superficialities of the physical world, like a blind man touching parts of the elephant, and then now dissecting the elephant into smaller and smaller units, and become even more lost and cannot even see the superficiality large truths anymore. And with the downfall of the human morality, everything is breaking down right now in the world. That's why we are facing the current pandemic. Precisely should call it worldwide plague. Even more precisely, it's basically almost the final judgment for every individual on the earth. It's a spiritual evaluation test, because the spirituality level directly reflects onto the human body operational mode, and especially the system called the immune system that's supposed to discern what's self versus non-self. Due to the ideology of communism, which is featured with the characters called 假 means fake, lies, deception. 恶 means vice, evil, hate. 斗 means struggle, violence, kill, destroy. So this is the operational mode of communism, and the communist ideology indoctrinate people's spirit and engage the people's spirits into an operational mode of self-destruction. And when a person's mind actually accept the communism, in China it's called the Chinese Communist Party ideology, and imposed onto entire nation and every Chinese people from kindergarten on, brainwashing. And in the Western world, like in America, children go to public school and also being indoctrinated by a set of Western variants of communism. And it's actually coated with beautiful names, even more hidden, and people cannot recognize that's communism. But as a matter of fact, materialism, atheism, evolution theory, they are all foundations actually that come along with communism. So Western variants of communism ideology has been fully infiltrating the public school system, and all the way to college, and all the way to research institutions, and all the way to the government systems, such as social benefits, high taxation. So, Western world, although people think that they are against communism, but communism is enlisted in the textbook in college as one of the economic model. Communism, socialism, capitalism, considered to be different economic model, and that's totally deception. Communism, socialism, they are all a type of ideology that's here to destroy mankind. However, the entire Western society, America right now, is pretty much controlled by such ideology-based operational mode. And that's why children, college students, and following all the generations after 1960s, China had the Cultural Revolution that eradicated the 5,000 years of tradition, and America has this movement in the 1960s also pretty much eradicate the traditional value system and the righteous faith and replace it with atheism, replace it with evolution theory, materialism, and science and technology religion. Basically, science and technology turns into the largest religion for the Western world because people start to put faith not in God, in divine beings who are intangible, invisible, and the science technology encourage people not to believe in intangible and invisible world and believes in visible and tangible material world. And to explore the material world, to identify mechanisms of the operational mode of the material world, and therefore try to manipulate these laws that governs the material world, and then therefore hoping to achieve the goal of conquer the nature and control the nature and manipulate the nature for the purpose of immortality, free of diseases, so-called happiness on the earth, and build a paradise on earth. This is exactly the communist ideology. So from this angle, everyone can see that the Western world has been practicing communism all along, and people's mind is totally indoctrinated by the communist ideology of wanting to struggle against heaven, earth, and people for selfish glories, dreams of happiness which will never come, because that operational mode is a self-destructive mode, and therefore leading to the body immune system to be totally deviated from truth, and therefore cannot discern what is self, what is non-self. And when the current plague comes, when the divine is now sending a examiner to everyone and challenge everyone's system, the system's fundamental flaw immediately is exposed. The immune system's fundamental flaw of attacking self is now manifested into the sudden death and a cytokine storm and a white lung phenomena in those people whose system is totally destroyed by the deviated ideology. That is the key problem that humanity need to recognize, and instead of continue on the path of self-destruction and want to outsmart nature and develop so-called vaccine and chemical compounds to kill the virus and conquer the virus and eradicate the virus, and continue to send out propaganda information by those science leading experts like Fauci and many more, and the entire science field follow that propaganda and encourage the general public to continue to be vaccinated and continue to make false promises like, oh, if everyone is vaccinated, it will have, group immunity and we can conquer the pandemic. And look what we are having right now. The world is starting to see that none of those promises are true, and it's all fake. And because it is based upon the wrong ideology, it's in the same old system that has destroyed the human immune system, and now injecting vaccine is furthering that process and speeding up that process of confusing the immune system, confusing the entire human body, and messing up the laws that governs the human body, and leading to total destruction. So this is a very critical moment that mankind must wake up and understand that all those false promises behind that actually is the same root that has caused this whole global plague. And the key actually is delivered by the group of people, the CCP, Chinese Communist Party, most fearful and persecuted ever since 1999. And this group of people is called Falun Dafa practitioners. And Falun Dafa practitioners are following the teachings of an ancient cultivation practice called Falun Dafa. And the website is www.falundafa.org. Falun, Falun Dafa, DAFA, falundafa.org. And the teaching delivers a very profound truth that our universe has a law. That law is the wisdom of our Creator. And it is that law that has created all things in the universe. And the reason the universe now is the way it is actually has entered the stage of destruction, following the universe law called formation, stasis, degeneration, and destruction. And just like a human being on the earth, manifesting as birth, aging, sickness, and death. And why that is the case is because the universe has basically deviated from the original law that created the universe. And now the Creator, our Creator, is here to rectify the law and allow everything to be returned to the original state when everything was first created. The old universe is not going to make it, and our Creator has made the new universe and want to save all beings in the universe and deliver all these beings into the new universe that is formed according to the law of the universe in the original, most beautiful, even more beautiful state than the previous universe. So all the beings in the old universe right now, the only way to enter the future is to assimilate the law of the universe, the wisdom of our Creator that is now being delivered right here in the human realm, which actually is the center of the whole universe and also is the lowest position of the whole universe. That when the law is delivered here in this very unique space and time, the entire universe, all beings can see it, can hear it. And that's why our Creator has come to the earth dimension and delivered the wisdom of creation, and that is called the law of the universe. And on the in the human world, 1992, May 13th, delivered in China first and called Falun Gong in the formality of Qi Gong that is easily accepted by the Chinese people, and even in the communist regime, Chinese people recognize the truth of Falun Gong and start to practice. Within 7 years, 100 million Chinese people start to practice Falun Gong. And what happened is that the CCP, the Communist Party leader Jiang Zemin, ordered a nationwide crackdown on July 20th, 1999 to persecute 100 million Falun Gong practitioners. Now, under the persecution, the Falun Gong practitioners start to clarify the truth and starting to tell the whole world what Falun Gong is. And the 3 words start to be spread. It's called Zhen, which means truthfulness, Shan, which means compassion, Ren, which means forbearance. Zhen, Shan, Ren is taught by Falun Gong, Falun Dafa, to be the fundamental nature of the universe. And everyone, if can conform to the fundamental nature of the universe, or even actively assimilate to the nature of the universe, then that individual will be able to be set free from the old law and enter the new world that is created under this law. Anyone is against the nature of the universe, against the law, will certainly have no space, no position in the new universe, because the whole new universe is created following such a law. And when the CCP use lies to smear the reputation of Falun Dafa and to make people hate Falun Dafa and make people starting to even do horrible things against Falun Dafa practitioners, who are the messengers of our Creator to deliver this very fundamental truths that are meant to save people's life, then these people are facing total destruction. Only through Falun Dafa's truth clarification to eliminate those horrible poisons spread by the CCP persecutors, those people who are poisoned by those lies can be awakened and then can starting to change their mind and knowing the truth of Falun Gong, Falun Dafa, and the reason that Falun Gong, Falun Dafa is being spread, and starting to recognize that this is the only hope to enter the future. So Falun Dafa practitioners have been delivering these precious 3 words, 真善人. And when people starting to sincerely recite 真善人好, 好 means good, means I want to be part of that. I make a stand for that. So when people make a stand for Falun Dafa, the law of the universe, the wisdom of the Creator, and chant 法轮大法好, Falun Dafa is good. 真善人好, truthfulness, compassion, forbearance is good. And the whole body immediately is rectified. And this is validated by countless amount of people already all over China. Well, when I mean countless, means large amount of those who received the message from Falun Dafa practitioners and started to sincerely recite 法轮大法好, 真善人好, and their body immediately regained the ability to discern right and wrong, good and bad, and self versus non-self. And those who actually were very sick during the Wuhan pneumonia time, and certainly throughout the time to now with the variants of that virus, which we cultivators called CCP virus, because the virus specifically picked out those people whose body are poisoned by a communist ideology and start to cause self-destructive immune response, and therefore it's called a CCP virus. It is a virus that seems to be targeting those people who are poisoned by the CCP ideology and become CCP people. Of course, in the Western world, a lot of people, in order to gain profit, want to do business with China and start to lose justice, the sense of justice and the conscience, and starting to align themselves with the CCP ideology and make a stand for the CCP power. All these people, their body also start to manifest those cytokine storm, self-destructive response. And so the whole world now, basically through this whole plague, are picking out those people who are poisoned. And through hearing the truth, all these people, if can recite 真善人好, truthfulness, compassion, forbearance is good, 法轮大法好, Falun Dafa, the great law of the universe, is good. These people are making a stand and repositioning themselves, and therefore can be rectified by our Creator, and therefore can be saved and delivered into the new world by our Creator. So this is a key message today on January 19th, 2022 from the Whole Elephant Institute, Flushing office, New York.